Alright, we're back with some more Aetherflux Storm in Standard. This hand, 3 lands with Bone Swords to bounce, Statuaries to make things cheaper, and Glimmers. In the right matchup, this is a decent enough hand, so we're going to keep it. See what our opponent's doing. We lost the die roll, so they go on to play first. It's a Prairie Stream. Interesting. Okay. Reservoir. Alright, we'll go Prairie Stream and we will pass. So we've got a decent curve here. Land and pass? It is land and pass. So this could be the blue-white approach deck. We're just going to land and pass ourselves. We've got a Baral's Expertise we can cast on the Reservoir. Should be nice. Or even the Glimmer of Genius, or even the Paradoxical Outcome. Let's see which one comes first. Prairie Stream and pass for our opponent. Alright, let's see if you've got a sensor. Sparring Statuary. Resolves. Alright. No sensor then. I think you would censor that, given the chance. Unless you knew we were playing a Reservoir, which you've got no reason to think that at this point in time anyway. Play the Ether Hub. Play Cathar Shield to make Glimmer cheaper. I guess we'll Glimmer right now. Let's see why not. Could see Supreme Will come through, or just a straight up negate. There's a Supreme Will. Okay, that's fine. That is not countering our Reservoir next turn. That's all that I care about. Prairie Stream and pass. Inventor's Fair. Alright, well. Let's try Slam a Reservoir. Do you have another counter? You do not. Could have a cast out for next turn though. And we got nothing to do off of this one, unfortunately. Just passes this turn, not even a land. Alright, game 1 life from the Inventor's Fair. Ooh, Cloudblazer. Okay, Cloudblazer for 2. We've got Supreme Will backup, mana backup that is, Sensor mana backup. So yeah, expected that to resolve. We get another Cloudblazer and another Supreme Will. Okay, happy with that. I don't see the point in suiting up with our Cathar Shield because I don't expect anything to get damage related on the Cloudblazer that wouldn't just straight up kill it anyway, like Immolating Glare or Gideon's Reproach, that kind of thing. And I think holding up Supreme Will is just a little bit better. I do believe this to be a second Sun deck though. Cast out. Not happening. Goodbye. Game 1 life. Very likely to be going for our Reservoir. And although we have a backup one, I don't see the point in spending our turn, next turn, recasting one if we can just counter that. We'll yield to that, we'll go up to 26. Play a Prairie Stream. Can we... Yes, we can indeed. Reservoir and then Cloudblazer. He's tapped out, so we gain 1 life from the first Reservoir. And now both of them trigger for 2. So we will pay all of our mana to play another Cloudblazer. Go up to 31, go up to 33 from the actual Cloudblazer, and draw some cards. Was not really great here, but there you go. We're not exactly in a bad spot, so I'm in no position really to complain about any draws at this point in time. Ether Meltdown. Huh. Fair enough. Guess our opponent's seeing a lot of vehicles. I wouldn't really play this against many creatures. So our opponent's up to 8. They're discarding to hand size if they do nothing. And they haven't played their land yet. They're just going to pass. Interesting choice. The problem for them now is that reservoirs go off of a cast trigger. So if he's hoping to... We could disallow the actual trigger itself. That's something to be aware of. Can counter the targeted ability. The activated ability, sorry. Okay. Let's go... Port Town, reveal Prairie Stream. Get in for 4. Baral's Expertise. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Recast the Cathar Shield because Paradoxical Outcome won't have any targets. Yeah, let's see if that works. Okay, blue and tap, tap, tap. Gain some life. Stasis Snare. Okay, so we're going to lose 1 Cloud Blazer by the looks of things. I'm fine with that. Sure. So, bounce all of that. Replay the Cathar Shield. Go up to 40. Cloud Blazer. Blue, white, tap, tap, tap. Go up to 46, up to 48 with the Cloud Blazer. If we hit... If we were to hit some 0-cost artifacts there, we would have won. Alas, not meant to be. Alright, let's pass. Set up to win next turn. As long as he doesn't have a disallow, which would be absolutely brutal. Just passes. Go up to 49 from the Inventor's Fair. So we just win short of a counter spell. So let's Glimmer. And by counter spell, only disallow really does it. We take us up to 51 and he scoops it up. Alright. Fair enough. So, counter matchup with lots of enchantment removal. We'll take the Forsake the Worldlies. If he casts out our reservoirs, we can get them back. Let's go up to the Dispels and the Negates as well. What do we go down? Go down the Cloud Blazers. Go down a Whir. Maybe just go a 1 for Forsake the Worldly. And... Go down a Statuary. I think we just trim, pretty much. Down a Baral's Expertise. Maybe down both of them, because they don't seem to hit anything. Try it like that. Okay, so we're on the draw. 4 lands, a Glimmer, and a Reservoir. It's got what we need from it. It's whether or not it's good enough. Because our opponent will be bringing in all of their counter magic. We could do better, but I also think we can do far worse. There are worse hands, and going down to 6, I'm not really sure we want to do that. Not when this hand actually does things. Not great things, but he does things. Alright, land and pass for our opponent. There is always the draws off the top, which, Aetherflux Reservoir, not one of those things we wanted to see drawn off the top. Because we've already got one. Blighted Cataract. I do think this is the second Sun deck. Because I do believe that is why you run Blighted Cataract to draw the extra cards. Approach of the Second Sun, probably my favourite card to come out of that set. One of, at the very least. Irrigated Farmland. And pass. More bone saws is actually not terrible, because it's something we can follow up after the reservoir to gain some life. Cycles a sensor. Plays a plains. Oh my god. Alright, we're going to play around Sensor and we're just going to pass Glimmer of Genius on their turn instead. I'd rather that get countered than a Reservoir, to be honest, even though of course we've got 3. He glimmers! Well, at the very least, the silver lining to this is if he's got an Hour of Revelation, at least we've got backup Reservoirs in our hand. I mean, we've got every Reservoir in our deck in our hand, but still. Regal Caracal. That is the last thing I expected to come out of this deck. It's also really problematic. Alright, well, let's Glimmer. Take the negate, bottom the plains. We get a Sram. Sram's pretty good. Though not immediately useful to us. There's another Bone Saw. So we'll play our island, we'll play Reservoir. We'll pass the turn. Okay, so beginning combat. Swinging in. We're down to 13, he's up to 24. As long as he doesn't hit 50, we're fine. Ornithopter is not a land. Okay, so I think what we do is we play Sram, because we gain 1 life off of that. If we hit a land off of any of these draws, if this resolves and stays around, that is, anyway, then we can play another Reservoir and we can do a little bit more. So let's draw a card, gain some life. Get a negate. Negate's not bad. This is cast out. Stasis Snare. I'm going to counter that. And the reason I'm going to counter that is because we get more life, and I think these draws are just going to set up our board state in a way that I appreciate. We need to find Paradoxical Outcome, and if we find that, we can maybe win next turn. Well, goodbye Sram. He's got a Supreme Will to back up his Stasis Snare. Doesn't really change our plan, but it does mean we're not drawing off of these 2 Bone Saws anymore, which is a shame. Port Town, which is the land we were looking for, although it is tapped. I'm just going to play out all of our 0 cost stuff. Okay. Pass the turn. See how we do. Goes to combat. Swings in. We let it happen. Ornithopter right now is better as a target for an outcome than it is to a blocker. To prevent 3 damage, as far as I'm concerned. Prairie Stream allows us to hold up Supreme Will mana for this Reservoir. See if that resolves. Goes for a Glimmer. Looking for an answer. And bottoms both. Guess we suit up with the Bone Saw. Try maybe deter one of the cats with our 2/2 Ornithopter. Well, actually, what I can do is deter all the cats with a 3/2 Ornithopter. See how that do. We could just get Stasis Snared, but Cycle's a farmland. And Cycle's a sensor as well. Okay. That's 2 of his 4 sensors gone. 1 of potentially 4 Supreme Wills. I'm not really sure about the number that get run in here, honestly. Oh. Interesting. I'm going to block the Regal Caracal. Which debuffs these guys. It doesn't get rid of their lifelink though. That is something that is permanent to these cats. It's a common misconception that the Regal Caracal gives its tokens lifelink, but they have it by default. It just gives all other cats lifelink. Ugh. I don't want to play this Reservoir because if he's got a board wipe like Hour of Revelation, we have no win con anymore. So I'm just going to pass. Could actually just play the land as well, I suppose, but we need at least 1 Reservoir in hand. And I don't think he's that tied down to his board state right now. Being that it's just 2/1/1 cats and Stasis Snare that's only holding a Saram back. It's not the end of the world if we get that Saram. Cast out. Well, now I'm not so scared about Hour of Revelation because he blows up a cast out which gets us a Reservoir back. Gets in with his cats. Sphinx of the Final Word. Can't be countered. Instants and sorceries cannot be countered. That's going to allow him to resolve his second son. Well, that's Reservoir. Go up to 24. I think with that in play, we might not be able to win this game. Unless we get really lucky off the draw and hit Paradoxical Outcome soon. And that Paradoxical Outcome hits some good stuff. Because we do gain a lot of life off of an outcome, and we haven't seen one yet. But we're getting close to just really struggling to kill him. Glimmer is pretty good. Alright, Glimmer of Genius. Gain 2. Up to 19. He lets it resolve by the looks of things. He does indeed. I'll take both of these. Cathar Shield's an extra trigger, although it doesn't really do anything good for us at this point in time. We gain 4 from the Cathar Shield. And we gain 6 off the Supreme Will, but Supreme Will wouldn't allow us to play anything else other than maybe a Bonesaw, and that's not going to get us into a winning position. So I think we can end step Supreme Will. So we'll pass the turn. Glimmers, tops, and bottoms. Okay. Are we going on a cycling fest? We are indeed. Farmland. Get cycled. Cast out. You can pay for this. So it's resolving. It's whether or not I want to Supreme Will for an extra 1 life. I think I'll pass on that extra 1 life, although 3, 6. Has he made his land drop this turn? He has. So he's not going to be using Approach. So I'm just going to get that extra life, actually. Inventor Sphere or Cathar Shield? Inventor's Fair in the long run gains us more life than Cathar's Shield, but if we hit Paradoxical Outcome, Cathar's Shield does more. So I'm going to take the shield. And just hope we draw an outcome that resolves. Take 7. It goes up to 38. We need to win soon. Real soon. And the Plains is not going to do it for us. Oh my god. Ah! Alright. Plains and pass. Illumination. This Dispel, actually utterly useless as well with the Sphinx on the board. And we've got no way of dealing with the Sphinx either, because we've only got Baral's Expertises and it's hexproof, so we can't target it. We'd need untargeted removal like Fumigates and things like that in order to deal with that. So we can never win a counter war. Outcome. Oh my god. Oh, goody. Pass the turn. Cycles. Up to 40. Gear Hulk. Yep, that's 12 damage. Alright, that's gonna do it. Alright, well, when you draw the worst half of your deck, that's what you get. So it turns out Fumigates actually might be quite good here. That Sphinx just means that we can't win a counter war ever. So it would effectively make sure that all of our counter spells are pointless being in our deck. Should I maybe bring in Void Shatters to counter his creatures over negates? Or at least one negate. And maybe I'd take... take out another Sram. Or should we just take out all the Srams and just go heavy counters? And just try to control his board as much as he's trying to control ours. Now I'll just cut the whir. Alright, let's go. We got this. Would we like to play first? We absolutely would. Would we like to keep this hand? We wouldn't be against it. Let's do it. Statuaries allow Glimmer of Genius to come down cheaper. We've got decent mana. So Prairie Stream and pass. Farmland for our opponent and passes. And there's a Bonesaw. With Statuary, if that resolves, then that's pretty good. Ether Hub, go. And passes. Okay. He's gone. Nope, keep stop on us, apparently. Right, let's go land, and let's try run out one of these statuaries. Probably sees a sensor, but we've got a backup one anyway, so I don't care. Negate. That's even better. Land and pass. Land. Oh my god. And statuary. Playing around Sensor now, but not around Negate or Supreme Will. Disallow. Void Shatter. There's 2 minute counters to count. There's a Supreme Will. Okay. It's a good job we hit enough mana to actually be able to Glimmer. Otherwise I might be sad about that. Blighted Cataract. And passes. Hitting our land drops is nice. We'll just pass now. There's no one drop I care about casting. And he illuminates us all. Alright. Go for it. Prairie Stream. Pass. Glimmer. Gonna counter it. Doesn't. Paradoxical Outcome. We'll take both of those. If we ever hit a reservoir. Oh if we ever resolve a reservoir. The issue is that also a cast out interrupts this, so I think we're going to have to wait for a counter spell in our own hand. And negate would be preferable, because most of his removal seems to be enchantment focused. Because we could reservoir here and then play all of our zero cost stuff, but on the first one in response, he could just cast us out. He's going to tap out though, so that puts us in an interesting spot. That puts us in a very interesting spot. We can Sram, play Bone Saws until we hit lands, reservoir, continue playing all of our Bone Saws and stuff. Yeah. I don't mind that line. Alright, draw a card. We want lands. Give us lands. We were drawing him left, right and centre earlier game. Come on. Oh, there's a negate. There's a land. Ah, the problem is we can't hold up negate anymore. But if he casts out our reservoir, we forsake and then we go off. So I think that's fine. Gain a bit of life. Gain 7 life on that. So remember, this one actually gains life for each spell you've cast this turn. So we cast 7 spells, so the one after we cast. Triggered it all. Used to confuse people at my F&M did this card. Where I was just playing a reservoir and then immediately playing down a Bone Saw and going, I gain 8 life! And they didn't understand why. Guessing for 5. Sure. Hey, cast out. Okay. This might work out in our favour. All I really want to see now is a land. To be honest. Another Cathar Shield. Let's forsake... If we forsake the Worldly and Cathar Shield and don't hit a land, we can't outcome. But we can Cathar Shield outcome. Cathar Shield outcome. Hit a land, then forsake the Worldly and replay all of our Bone Saws and things like that. So play the Cathar Shield, we get another reservoir. Does that change anything? I suppose we can just try set up this board state again next turn by playing another reservoir, which forces him to try and cast it out. Because we're not going to be able to get that reservoir and outcome here. Unless I bounce everything first. Yeah, we only have to hit an untapped land. Let's do this. And not have a sensor as well. So, well, we've got an Ether Hub. We really only hit 1 land there. We got super lucky. Forsake the Worldly, get back our reservoir. If this resolves, we probably win. It resolves, so we start playing out all of our Bone Saws and things. Drawing cards, gaining life. Opponent's F6 at this point. Go to 31. This deck produces so much salt from our opponents. I tried playing this in the tournament practice room, and people would disconnect and scoop after the first time I played Reservoir. And as soon as I started doing this, they would just leave. Even if they were winning, the moment they saw Reservoir, they'd just leave. It was quite hilarious. And that's going to be the game. Oh boy, that was close. Alright, let's go for another game.